Hello and good evening. You are back with the crew. And yes, we are back from our quick little vacation. I think Elizabeth and I were gone like 5 days. I have some very crude video coming out of me walking through a little town. I thought I'd share a little bit with you guys and give you an update on what we did over the last 5 days. But Brother Simon's in the house as we always get together on Tuesday nights. Great to have you back again, brother. Man, believe it or not, 5 days with no internet. I miss you guys. I don't know. I just do. Man, how you been?
I've been good. I was just thinking about that statement you just said there. 5 days without internet. Like, was the first day kind of you had the shakes a little bit? Did you kind of reach for that phone and go, "Oh yeah, that's right, I'm in the woods"?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I was insanely busy the day before, so I wasn't really on it much that day. So I kind of weaned off slowly. I was just trying to put all the gear in one place and make sure we didn't forget anything, doing one of those deals. But yeah, I just about an hour ago shaved my beard. I had like a 7-day growth going there.
Whoa, so, your wife let you get away with that?
Yeah, well, when we're camping and, I brought
There's a trade-off, right? There's a trade-off? Yeah.
I got a video coming out tomorrow. It was about 4 days growth. So I thought, well, okay, I'll leave it. Why not?
I love it. A true captain. You went all pirate on us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I did too. Yeah, for sure. I was full pirate. I have to say two things. Well, I said it in the video, but two things that came to mind after a couple of days of no internet. It was clarity on a level that I hadn't had in a long time. And I was blown away at how long the day was. It's a long day. You know what I mean? It's like not long, like, hey, where's my phone? I got to push on some buttons. I'm jonesing. Right. It was long, like, you're kidding. It's only 12 o'clock. Man, that's awesome. Look what else we can get done today. We were planning, Elizabeth and I went on a few hikes, like good, solid hikes, miles and at elevation. So all of that, every time you do stuff like that, it's like, it just opens your eye. It's so expansive. I don't know. It's hard to put into words sometimes, but it makes you understand that, like, I'm old enough, like many people don't remember before cell phones and laptops, but it just really allowed me to hearken back and just go, wow, man, I used to do this all day, every day. And this is all I did every day was hike and fish. And because my job was fishing on a river.
Right.
So I was on the river 5-6 days a week, and that's all I did. No phone. And I thought, wow, the things that, here's the takeaway, the biggest takeaway. I don't know whether it's related or not. I don't know. I'll know over the next couple of days.
Okay.
My dreams were so vivid.
Oh, yeah.
And they were multiple dreams of people I knew well. I knew their faces. I knew their stories. And I was like, wow, look at that. And I'd wake up. I got old man disease. I wake up in the middle of the night like a lot of old people do. Thankfully, I can get back to sleep. But I always get up about 3:30. Whatever it means to you out there. Some people it means something. And I was like, boom, like I remember exactly what I was dreaming. And I go back to sleep and I'd have a separate dream, and it was like a storybook. And it was every single night. Beautiful.
That's cool. Really, I've had those. Wake up, remember everything. And it's like I'm still there, but I have just enough of this world to go to the bathroom and to make my way back to the bed, and then reconnect, and then I'm off to a new adventure, so to speak.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah,
it is. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got that, and you and the wife got lots of good old time to reconnect and things like of that nature.
Hey, look at this. We got a celebrity in the house.
Teresa?
Yeah, we got Stacking Surfers back. Hey, brother.
Foster.
Yeah.
Foster.
Yeah. John Foster, of course. We got
Crawfish. GA.
Crawfish. Teresa's back in. Atta girl. Yeah, got the whole crew back. Love it. Jetpack. They're all in here. Stacking Surfer, I haven't seen you in here a while. He's like, I've been adding to my XRP. Am I stupid? Love that.
Nope.
No, you are not stupid. Hey, how much silver and gold can you buy, dude? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. A lot is the answer. If you want, I'll tell you what, if you want a lot of silver,
as much as I want to buy.
Yeah. If you want a lot of silver and gold right now, you've had a good year. There's no question of that. It's been a good year for you people. I own, full disclosure, so do I. I own a healthy stack, I'll say, of silver. Not a lot of gold. I own enough silver, there's no way I could carry it.
You know what? So since you have that much silver, I highly recommend that you just start making your own solar panels. I mean,
no.
Come on.
They're so cheap now, dude.
Put it to good use.
Yeah. No, I started buying solar panels, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, and they were $300 to $400 a panel. I get twice the panel now for $125. Literally twice the panel. It's just amazing. It's so good. Yeah, crawfish. I don't know what it is. 3:30 in the morning, dude. It's the real time. I don't know what it is. I know people call it God's hour. People call it the opening hour. People call it what's the one everybody uses the Holy Spirit with it. But anyway, it's cleansing hour. There's all sorts of terms for 3:30. 3:33 in the morning. Yeah,
it makes sense that it's a cleansing hour because most of us go to the bathroom, and thus we are cleansed and out with the bad, back to the bed, into the good.
Yeah, yeah.
To be what you
and I have to say this too, like there's something about camping with your spouse, just the two of you, and you having that much quality time, and the phone isn't between the two of you or the laptop. It's real time, and it's connecting, and it's so important, guys. Whoever you love, if you love them a lot, do something without your phones. I highly recommend it. I don't just mean between the sheets, because you could do that with your phone too. But what I'm talking about is like spend some hours with each other, you know, is what I'm talking about.
Honey, I'm being real good right now. I want you to know I'm being real good right now on camera. I just want that noted for public record.
Let's not go there. This is a family show.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Don't forget to have a glass of water before you go back to bed. I don't do that in the middle of the night. That's a great call. First thing I do when I wake up is power the largest glass of water I possibly can drink. It's massive, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I took it there. But so key, guys. We didn't bring the dogs. We brought each other. And it was great.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good.
Really fun.
Good things. Because
you're on the road together and you're talking and you're in the camper and you're, of course, the communist state I live in is like no campfires. I was like, so I drove firewood all the way up there and back for absolutely no apparent reason other than just waiting the back end of the truck.
You didn't try to do a play on words?
No, which one?
Well, you had the lawyer there. I figure at least says no campfires. Well, we're not camping. Okay, we're bonding. This is a bonfire.
Right.
Okay, it's a totally different fire.
I couldn't live there. Yeah. No, they were very serious about it. Very serious. And I was like, The campsite that we were in, you could not have lit it on fire. Like if you had torches, you couldn't have started a fire. It was just nothing dead or in the, it was all dirt.
Maybe maybe not to go too off the rails here, but maybe they're the ones that just want to stick to doing that in their own state.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's it.
Oh, good things.
What? Wait a minute. John, what are you doing? Playing around? Oh, our lab. Yeah. Well, welcome to my house. We have our dogs get sprayed by a skunk probably 4 or 5 times a year. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like oh, yeah. Yeah. One of them still smells like skunk right now. You could smell her. Yeah.
Man.
We don't do the whole wash them down with tomato juice and all that. They're just going to get in the skunk again.
Just go roll in the dirt. No. Roll over. Roll around in the dirt.
Yeah. Do it. Right. It's not fun. It's really bad when you're asleep. It's 3:30 in the morning, like we're talking, and they come into the room. And it's just like,
oh no! When you wake up, you're like,
yeah,
okay.
Aren't we here to talk business? Aren't we business people here? What are we doing?
We're talking business, family business. This is family banking, family business.
It's very important stuff. I know it is.
How are you supposed to be a very good banker if you can't go out and get clarity? We have to be top notch. Top notch.
That's it. What are we thinking? What are we thinking here? I've got to tell you guys this incident. I was going to make a video out of it. It was not that big a deal. I was talking to this guy by the river, and actually, we're going to kind of talk about it a little bit. So let's go right into it, Simon. Okay. Why don't we?
For sure. Bring it.
And I was talking to this guy, and he had this really nice fifth wheel, and we're just a couple of old boys out there talking. And he said, well, what do you do? And I said, well, I got this YouTube thing, and I got this other thing, and I'm a boat captain, and kind of telling our stories. We talked probably 45 minutes or something. And he's the guy that he was my access to the river. It was a stream, a pretty good sized stream with just tiny trout in it, right next to my campsite. Okay. But in town, if you want to call it in town, where Elizabeth had a meeting that she had to get on the internet for. So when I took her there to get on the meeting, I went fishing, but I had to kind of go through his property. So that's how I met him. And, after I was pulling the rock salt out of the back of me, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it was public access to this gorgeous river. Unbelievable. So anyway, when I get to this guy, he and I start talking about business and different things. And he was a realtor most of his life, and he made a killing on some sort of thing and retired 20 years ago. And he just runs this little camp, a little trailer campsite down right by the river in a van by the river. But anyway, he was telling me,
California.
No, right. Yeah, no, he did really well. He had a big fifth wheel. So nice. He was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I'm so sick of these insurance policies. And I paid this damn, he's older than I paid this damn, insurance policy. And now they want me to cancel it. And now I'm getting out of it. And it was term, he had term. Mm-hmm. I said, well, is that the only thing you have? And he said, no, they sold me this thing about 10 years ago. And I said, was it an IUL? And he goes, yeah, that was it. And it keeps up with the stock market or something like that. I said, well, you've done okay with that, right? I mean, it hasn't been down, right? He's like, no, it's okay, but I don't know how the hell to get out of the damn thing. And that's when I started talking to him about IBC and how all insurance isn't created the same, and how younger people, you shouldn't just throw it all into the bus and just say it's all bad. There's some really good ways to use it. And I brought up R. Nelson Nash's book, and I started talking. Right. Next thing you know, he was really interested. He's like, well, that's pretty cool. My grandkids are really into money. Maybe I could, help him. Told him about the book. I didn't have my phone with me, so I couldn't really, do much other than tell him about it. So Simon, long story to ask you a simple question. How would he get out of his IUL and into a mutual life
Oh, to
insurance
like
policy?
a dividend paying whole life insurance policy.
Yes, correct. How would he
Um,
go about that? In case he's listening.
In case he's listening, he would need to speak with a broker. We refer to them as agents. Technically, they're not an agent because an agent actually works for the actual insurance company. Someone like Jarrett Vick or Miss Becca or Mr. Chapman. Those are all technically brokers. They work
Yeah.
on our behalf, not the insurance company's behalf. But he would need to have a conversation with the authorized IBC practitioner to see not only if it's possible. By the way, yes, it's possible to do that. That's through a 1035 process called 1035, which I'm sure they might have done that with his term. They might have converted it or did something funky. I don't know. I don't know. But after this, during that first discussion, one of the things that would more than likely be asked is, first off, is this the right thing to do? So that question would get asked from the position of the broker looking at the policy and going, well, okay, IUL is not for infinite banking concept. However, is it really doing you that bad right now? Right? Yeah, how bad is it? Right? And so that assessment would need to take place. But upon after assessment and the gentleman down by the river in this discussion, maybe doesn't like that. Wants the guarantee, not the, well, this year it's good. Is tomorrow going to be good? And all those other risks that could be there with the IUL. So, so yeah, 1035 would be your answer on that. That individual could do ask about a 1035 over to dividend paying whole life insurance at a mutual participating company.
Love it. Yeah. No, I love that. I knew that's kind of the answer I gave him, but not really. You explained that a lot better than I did. But I was like, yeah, just call.
Well, you're trying to get the fish. You're like, okay, look, last thing, and then can I get through your property?
Yeah. I got to answer a couple questions here.
Sure.
Gene, did you catch trout or salmon? I caught trout. I caught let's see, they were all wild salmon or all wild trout. I caught browns and rainbow only. There were no cutthroats in that river, but there actually were brook trout in the pond at the bottom of where the river kind of settled in. And I didn't catch any of those, but I caught a ton of fish. I only fished like probably 3 hours, something like that. And I want to say I hooked 30 fish easy.
Nice.
And only probably took 20 to the shore because a lot of them were pretty small, Yeah. But I caught a couple of few pretty good sized fish, but it was constant action. There was a stone, those who fly fish, there was a stonefly hatch that came off at about an hour before the sun went down. It was unbelievable. They were almost 3 inches long, flying. If you guys know what stoneflies are, kind of look like a dragonfly sort of thing, but they were massive and the trout was just going crazy on them. There was so much stonefly in the water that they weren't hitting my fly above the stonefly. There was just too many other natural bait for them to eat, So it was a lot of fun to answer that one. But there was enough fishing stories tonight. Which one did you like here? I saw you point out.
GA actually speaks from personal experience to the question with the guy down by the river there. Says easy, just cancel it. Get whatever cash value out and start a IBC policy. He canceled his IUL and he wasn't able to convert it. All right, so he wasn't able to convert or transfer. Yeah, sorry, I see it there now.
This is exactly what I told him he should do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put it a lot more eloquently, and you could talk to a broker and you could talk to an agent, and that makes a lot more sense. But I said, well, I just get out of it and get into something different, because they're going to keep. Yeah. That's what I would have done. But he's like, I think he's like 70. I think he said he was. So it's kind of getting
that, and there's that. See, that right there would be, hey, go just have a discussion. Like literally, they're gonna, someone that's been on the ropes knows those ropes and just goes, how old are you? What's your income? What's this? What's all those questions that we get when we go through that process, right?
And also, what is the value of that policy if he cashed it out?
Right. I mean, how long ago was it? You said
cut bait. 10 years. I think he said,
10 years in. Okay, he might not be able to do the PUA part. I think he might get 5 more years of PUA. But then he's going to have to go through a whole nother process of medical, etc. Like, there's a lot that's going on right there. Unless it's done in house, right? If wherever they got the IUL, if they happen to have, some dividend paying whole life insurance, that could be a play there too. But
for sure,
cut bait, exactly, done.
I told him. I said you might want to look into it, just cutting bait and getting out, cut your losses and get into something else. But like I don't give financial advice, especially to somebody I just met.
Oh, but no, you guys are just chopping it up there down by the river.
Yeah. Good, a really nice guy.
Cool. GA, thanks for the share, brother. Appreciate
it. Yeah. And if what do you call it? Still in here tonight. He had a great question up here earlier. I would get the silver melted into coins and face stamped on it. No. I saw a really good question up here.
Brad J5 has a question. I responded in the chat, but it's definitely worth mentioning, of course. All questions are here, always. After I get my trust figured out, can I put my life insurance in it? Absolutely. You can totally do that. You just transfer ownership from you over to the trust, and then the trust is now has all the obligation to fund that trust that now the trust owns, which you don't own anymore, but you still remain the insured on the policy, so you're good to go there.
That's it. Mm-hmm. You take control of everything when it goes into the trust. You control it, whatever you want to do with it.
And if you want to have some chocolate cake afterwards to celebrate, by all means, praise Jesus.
Yeah, right. Here we go. There's a good one right here.
Can you pay your policy loans off with lump sum payment plus interest? Absolutely, you can totally do that. You're in charge, so to speak, of the terms. The insurance company offers you the choice of how you would like to pay for the loan, meaning an initial agreement, if you will. You get to choose yearly, semi-yearly, quarterly, or monthly, and that's pretty much it at that point. You have a $25 a year minimum. I should say I have a $25 a year minimum on mine for every loan. I have to at least give them $25 a year to keep that valid or not in default or anything like that. But if you wanna pay off the loan, one lump sum plus the interest on top that you're charging yourself, absolutely, you can totally do that. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Do it.
Another good tool of the outside security. Okay, yeah. This is a good one too.
Okay, come on. Another good tool. After asset is secure in trust, file a UCC1 on it, and then put a lien on the property for the amount of your choosing. Yeah, that's a play. First in line, first in time.
That right.
Yes, sir.
The lien always wins.
It does. All day, every day. Lean away. Lean away.
Yeah. There's some fees associated with it, but they're minuscule, really.
Yeah.
That's a good.
It's all about.
That's it. Go ahead. It's a really good play if you're in a tight, quick situation that you would like to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
If your tail is in the breeze, shall we say, it's a nice, slick little move. Yeah, that a lot of people use.
Oh yeah. That right there in some football terms is from the blind side.
That's it.
That's a blind side move that you get a call that's not being done to you. A great move if you almost get blindsided altogether. Oh,
yeah.
You know, it's good thing.
There's a lot to be. We could get into that for an hour or two when you're talking in a poor partnership or a situation gone bad. That's a really kind of what a lot of people use exactly that move for. But anyway, let's see.
Thanks, Jetpack.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's great.
And let's see. GA was just answering. Yeah, GA's got great answers in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, GA's awesome. Very awesome. Very knowledgeable individual.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on cash value, and it can become a taxable event. I took it a loan first, and I canceled it a month later. I'll learn and see. Yeah, well, that's what we do sometimes. We kind of make haste, and then we do things, and then when we look back, we're like, wow, that wasn't the best tax advantage to me. But often when you do stuff like this, especially, that's what I love about IBC and trust. You're flying under the tax radar, almost all of it. IBC is a trust, essentially. And the trust, depending on the way it's written and the quality of the trust you get, both of those are non-taxable, like if you do it correctly. And it's not that hard to figure out. You don't even have to figure it out. All you need to do is get with somebody who knows what they're talking about, like our buddy JV and other people. And then next thing you know, you figure it out. The light bulb goes off, and it's not complicated. You become your own bank, and now you're banking with whatever funds you have accessible to you. Like Stacking Surfer could be silver. He could cash out of silver. He might have bought 1,000 ounce or 10,000 ounces at $10, and now he's at 33, and he's like, "Hey, man, that's 13 grand per 1,000 or whatever that is." He's like, "I'm out. I'm going to get out of some of that. What am I going to do with it?" Well, now you can become your own bank, and you fly under the tax radar. That's all we're doing here, guys.
I wouldn't even say we're flying under the tax radar. We just don't come up on the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean we are following every letter of the law within the code there. That's it. We're playing ball. No beacon.
Yeah. Here we go, Jeff. Jeff, great question.
Yeah. I saw that.
First of all, is that debate on right now? I'm sorry, I don't know that. I just got back into town.
Is that why everybody's here? I was wondering.
Yeah, where is everybody tonight? Oh, they're watching something more important. Right.
Is it important? Okay. No. Enough about that. I'm being saucy.
I already know who's winning that debate. You know, she's saying the same five
things.
It
really a debate though? Like, is it really like? I mean, I thought a debate was like a back and forth, and kind of like fencing. It's like a real match there, not just fencing.
That one might be. That one might be. He's an attorney. and they debate. I think she's
Personal
an attorney
experience
too. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Gonna get us in trouble. Jeff's question here though. So I've been watching John and such about the debate. Bought the book. Right on. Congratulations. 62. It seems I'm starting this a little late. Correct. It's all relative. The best time to start this was yesterday. The second best time to start this is today. But no, you're not. You still have time to do this whole process. Allan, he's close to 62, I think. He's been in this.
I was going to say he started younger than I did. So,
I mean, I wasn't going to tell everybody all your secrets, but since you put it out there, yes, it might feel like you are because, and Nelson addresses this very well in the book. Retirement. Like, Nelson doesn't choose to use that in his vocabulary. He chooses passive income years, right?
Yes.
And because that's what it is. So when you think of 62, your whole life is when I get to 65 or whatever age range there, you're thinking retirement. You've thought that your whole life, as have I. So no, it's not too late. You're literally entering probably arguably the most productive years of your life here on this planet. And now you're going to dip a toe. You're about to step in this pool where you at the last leg of your life get to take control of the banking function in your life. If you have family, you get to teach them, at least one of them, how they can do it and pass the torch and quite possibly pass on the wealth to them. So you're not late. If you were graduating tomorrow, it might be a little late. But no, you're not.
But even then, somebody will end up with it. But
that's right.
Yeah. So, okay, let me give you a little, for instance, in my situation. That never came into play in my mind because I don't think about how old I am very often. I try not to. I don't see the advantage of worrying about your age. But anyway, I just, as soon as I understood the policy and what it meant and the fact that you're buying this contract and what the contract can do for you annually, like I'm talking about this year, right? I didn't start thinking about its long-term benefits. That's what we kind of have in our back of our mind when we hear life insurance. We think the death benefits or what, how it's going to help the second half of my life. Well, I'm on the second half of my life. What do you mean? That's the beauty of what this book really explains is you get to use the money now, like within 10 days or something. You get to use the money twice and then 3 times and then 4 times over again. That's the concept we're using here. The other beautiful thing about being a little bit older that a lot of people don't figure out is you have a little bit more expendable income. You can pay that premium every year without too much, the base every year without having it really affect your lifestyle. When you're 40 and the kids are wanting to go to college or whatever, 50 and they're wanting to go to college, you're like, whoa, I don't have an extra 5 or 10 grand to put into this thing annually. So this is almost a perfect time at 6. I'm going to say 50 to 60 is a great time to do this. Okay. And then there's one other thing too. Like Elizabeth, the first thing that hit her when she started really understanding this was, okay, after you've paid these in for 5 or 10 years, you can slowly withdraw this out. And it's like a forced retirement plan, if you will. There's an annual income that you can make, and maybe that's just your rent or whatever it might be the rest of your life. But it's something the rest of your life that you can manage to say, well, I can pull this much out of that policy the rest of my life. So long term, and especially if you have a job where you've been a 1099 your whole life and you haven't done a great job about saving up for retirement, this is a deal that if you did that, I don't know, what is it? We figured out last week, like 7 years, right? You're done paying on it, I believe.
Oh, okay. You're talking about if we did 7 years total premium. So we did our base plus PUA,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna play. Now we're gonna do the play where we're using the dividends to pay our base premiums for year 8,
Mhm.
and then at year 9 and year 10, and eventually by year, I think
That's
it's
right.
actually by year 10, give or take, our our um our dividends from one policy can it's self-sustaining now, right? You can
Yeah.
continue to do that. That's something that can be done. And now you're just kind of letting that just do its thing, just like a tree in the orchard. It's got
Yeah.
it. It might have a lean year, but might have a really great year, the following year and all that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. That's a sweet move.
This is a good one here too, John. Great. You see, you're thinking, buddy. I like where your head's at.
Who decides the PUA amount in the contract, and does it have to be met every year? Okay, so that is decided by a couple of different variables that would be discussed in your meetings with an IBC authorized practitioner, and it goes a little something like this. Initially, it'd be starting with you. Well, how much would you like to put in to the PUA side of the policy? Or rather, the logical question would be, John, how much would you like to pay total premiums per year, so base plus PUA, into this policy initially for X amount of years? Once that's determined, then illustrations can happen just to kind of give us a little bit more clarity, but it's not it's not indefinite. Then you go through the application process. Insurance says, "Hey, John, we love you. We like the numbers here. We're gonna say, yep. Not only are you going to be insured, but we're going to give you those numbers that you wanted. Maybe you wanted to do a $10,000 base and a $15,000 PUA for 7 years, or maybe you want to do a $5,000 base and a $10,000, or maybe you want to do a 5 and 5. $5,000 on the base, $5,000 PUA. That's really something that you get to decide initially. It's how much can you do, and this is worth repeating right here and now. And we'll continue, and I will continue to repeat it. You must be able to meet that base obligation without fail. There's other things that you can do if you fall on real hard times, but you must ensure that you hit that premium, no matter what. Even after PUA is all done, you got to be thinking, how am I going to be able to take care of this base every year? What does that look like?
Yeah.
So, but great question. And does it have to be made every year? Oh, sorry. Did you want to add to that real quick before I jump on?
No. Go ahead. That? I was adding to what you were just saying.
Does it have to be met every year? No. We pay for a PUA rider, okay, a perk, kind of like leather seats in your car. Okay, it don't come with it, but if you want it, we'll throw it in there for you. Okay, so and the PUA is the option or the opportunity to pay or buy extra death benefit up to a certain amount. In my specific situation, with the policy that I have, I'm able to contribute up to $10,000 a year for PUA for a certain time period.
Yeah,
but I don't have to do it.
No, you don't have to do it.
No,
but it's a good idea on these.
But I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
And here's kind of a follow up, and I don't understand this. I don't, but can't borrow after 3 years to let the cash value side accumulate. I don't know what policy you have there.
Oh, okay.
Borrow after the first 10 days.
But I can't borrow after 3 years. But can I borrow? Maybe there was an I there. So, to the best of my knowledge, you can borrow. Actually, I don't think it's 10 days. It goes a little longer because what happened with mine is it first had to be enforced. The check had to clear. The insurance company had to get that money working.
Yeah.
They did a whole bunch of other calculations on their end. And once that was good to go with PUA, so once the check cleared for my base, once that was when my policy was in force, I could immediately buy some PUA, and I did that. And then it took 21 business days. Or no, yes, 21. Yeah, it was about 21 days, 21 full days, not business days. Excuse me. I apologize. And then I was able to borrow that money from the PUA right then and there. After 21. Now that's my policy. Every company is a little different, right?
Yeah.
They'll do things a little bit different, but bottom line was I was able to do a loan and so on and so forth.
Well, he just put down here he's got an IUL. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Different terms there, my friend.
Totally different ball game. That's an apple. Totally We're talking about oranges. But yeah. That's why I don't like IULs. But that's one of the reasons why I don't like IULs. And a lot of people do really well with them and they sell them, and I get it and I understand it. And I'm not trying to say you shouldn't have one, but if you want to become your own banker, that's not what you use. So I'd like to say on year 2, by the way, Simon, after all that preliminary stuff is done, the moment you put your base in, you can pull it out real quickly after that, right? What you're talking about is when you first set the whole thing up.
Right? Nope. Every time you buy more extra death benefit, it has to go through the process of getting that money working and on the books and etc. It's not just a quick boom, there it is, and boom, you got it. Okay. I thought it was like that. That was my understanding. But let's actually go a little further on that. So where is the boom I got? I can access that money. That really comes into play when you pay back a loan. As soon as you pay back a loan and it clears, it clears, boom, on the phone, doing another loan for that money that's in there, and you're pulling it back out. That's how quick it can be. If everything when everything clears, so after your 21 days with my policy, because again, each company's a little different, it's in my bank account in 3 days, right? So big picture, you go through the process. The minute you sign the contract, well, the day you sign the contract, the insurance company will draft your account for your base obligation. Okay. And once that's done, wait just a couple of days for them to get it cleared on their end. And once it's enforced, boom, you can tell them to do another draft for PUA. Yeah. And then from that point, about 21 days, and then you got that loot to be able to borrow up to 90% of that. And then it's back in your account in 3 business days ish, depending again on insurance company, financial institution A, financial institution B, blah blah blah. We are banking, people. It's not crypto.
Right. And that's this is the exact reason why. Look, there's some real great advantages to IULs. I just don't like. For me, they don't work. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I like all the chips are in the house's favor. And so, like, why would I play that game with them? If I have the choice between term IUL or whole life, mutual whole life, there's not even a question for me. If you want to talk about how to use money as banks use money, there's no question between those 3 products. Now, if you want life insurance policy for the least amount of payment every month, no. But if you want to become a bank and become your own banker and you want to take charge of your own finances, there's no comparison between the 3. There's no comparison. But it just depends, what you want to do with the money. To all my believers in Christ, you can also do this, set up the same services with a Christian bank near you and get major benefits with loans. Is this true? Huh. I don't think they're going to compound your base annually.
Don't know.
I don't know either, but maybe. If you got that kind of church, buddy, Jetpack, I'd stick with those guys. I don't think they're going to give a dividend annually, and I don't think they're going to compound your base amount annually. I just don't see that happening. Nobody's going to do that, especially when you borrow against it. Nobody's going to do
might
that.
just be giving reference to the loan part.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's, I mean, if it's out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a link to somebody good, I'll tell you the bank I'm really interested in, and that's Caitlin Long's. That's
oh yeah,
that's bank. Yeah, that's the real deal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's a whole nother show. We'll get into that another.
So Mike Hawk here has what policy / rider do I add if I go to a mutual whole life policy? Okay, so we want dividend paying whole life insurance policy. Okay, of course, at a mutual participating company. The riders you would want to add for sure is the PUA rider, and PUA you might need PUA rider, paid up additions rider. And again, I'm gonna harp on this. You really want to talk to an authorized IBC practitioner. Authorized IBC practitioner. These are brokers and agents and other financial planners that have been trained at the Nelson Nash Institute to implement this strategy, this concept, utilizing this tool, dividend paying whole life insurance.
Yeah.
Another rider that's on mine is I actually added term on mine, and there's two reasons for that. One was it gives me the opportunity to keep on contributing PUA for till I'm 65. Or just before 65, so a little under 20 years. Now, I wanted that for the purpose of having another hole to stick some of my interest as I do loans in my future, right? I just wanted that option, okay? Reason number two is more the reason why I agreed to do that, because it was like, well, I can just get another policy, right? Like I don't need to have PUA. But the other reason was it's convertible. The term is convertible for me, so I can convert it at any time before 65, and I can convert that into more whole life insurance, right? So for me, it's a win-win. It literally left some options on the table long-term for me to see how things progress over the course of the next couple decades in my life. So I felt really good about doing that, and for what I'm paying to have that option on the table for me is worth the money. Right. But if it wasn't convertible, I wouldn't have done it. If it didn't give me the options to keep on contributing to PUA, I wouldn't have got the term. I would have found something else.
Yeah.
That, I would have worked my policy a little bit different. So Mike, I hope that answers your questions. I'll be leaving my email in the comment section here in a little bit, as well as I'm sure Allan will too. And you can reach out to us and we can, we can have discussions. We can get you on the phone with Jarrett Vick. He loves to talk IBC all day. If you have any more questions that you would like to talk to someone about this process or what's going on, all that good stuff. So
yeah, you need an IBC practitioner is really going to help you sit down and go, here's how much money you have. Here's how many cryptos you have. Here's what you're going to do with it. What do you what's your game plan? What are your car payments? And they're going to show you and explain to you everything that you didn't understand about your own finances and how you can change the situation that you're in. It'll change your life, dude. I'm just telling you right now that if you understand it all. I have to say something to Mike and everybody else who has emailed me. Okay. I've been gone. I literally got back today. I've been unloading the camper and doing farming work all day because I've been gone for 5 days. I just want everybody to know that if you emailed me after last week's show on Thursday, I'm going to get back to you in the next day or two. Okay. Especially if you left me a phone number, because I'm probably going to be on the road a lot tomorrow and I'll be making a lot of phone calls. I can't wait to talk with all of you and discuss all of it with the show that I had last Thursday with April. I'm going to catch up with all of you and book conferences with you and she and I together. So be patient. I know you haven't heard from me yet. You will in the next day or two. Okay. And if you want to know anything about life insurance or IBC policies that we use in banking terms, we become our own private bank using life insurance, simply put. Please get a hold of Simon or JV, and his info will be down below in the link, because I'm telling you, this will change your life. When you understand how this thing works, in particular, if you're under the age of 50, you need to do this yesterday. I don't care if it's just $500 or $1,000. Once you get the process of what you're doing and why you're doing it and how much this company is rewarding you for the use of your own money. It's paying you a dividend and it's giving you compounding interest. Nobody's going to do that and let you use your own money. Nobody in the world does that. I'm like, that's why there's so few places in the world that you're able to do this. And so far in America, you can. So yes. Simon just put his info down there. So get a hold of him. And
there's that. And also we're going to do this. You can call the Simon Says Crypto hotline.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's the digits.
Mike, don't sweat it, dude. We're going to get a hold of you for sure, man.
Yeah.
We will.
I
appreciate your patience.
Mike, take down my number right there. Send me a text because I'm looking at my email right now. I don't see anything initially. So take down the number that I put there in the chat and, give me a little jingle or send me a text message and I'll text you right back. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Allan. Appreciate that. That number again, 425-412-0924. Call me anytime, day or night. Text me, 425-412-0924. If I don't answer, I will get back to you. Sorry. Always love the voiceover guys on radio, man. Especially like with sports, man. They just got that voice. Come now to Volkswagen off Filbert Road.
Hey, Teresa, you got the hang of this stuff. Just stay with it and keep listening. It's not complicated. When you go through this, I know it seems like you had a couple of meetings with JB already, Teresa. So if you don't understand what it can mean to you in a useful term, kind of like the conversation we had with April that you had, I know you had a light bulb moment then. I could see it in her face.
Great. That's great.
God, you mean I can do that? And they can't tax me? Like, there you go. Light bulb. When we get that one, it's always good. Yeah,
I love the light bulb. I love the light bulb moments. I get very animated.
Yeah. Here's one.
Yeah.
Here's a staking.
That's DeFi staking with daily rewards and pullouts with no restrictions, contingent on staking rules. That's right. What I'm going to be working on is taking that and throwing that over to the policy for myself. That's what I'm going to be looking at doing.
That's me, right.
That's grapes on the vine, baby. That's grapes on the vine.
This is about. Yeah. Okay.
Same thing.
Maybe we could lose somebody with this one too. Okay. You want to play with this question that you and I looked at earlier?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. Say someone wanted to purchase a car, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And they've only got 10 grand, we'll say, accessible in their IBC account to use for their own desire, to create their own terms, their own loan, whatever they want. They want to buy a $50,000 car, but they've only got 10 grand that they could pull out of their current IBC policy. But they want to use it as a down payment on a car. Can they do that, Simon?
Yes, they can do that. Should you do that though? That'd be a question I'm asking. I would ask, and I'm only coming from the perspective of this is the logical thing, right? This is the thing I was trained to do in life: save up money, enough money for a down payment, so I can go to the car lot and get a car. It's like, okay, I have that. I have that ability to do that right now. Great part is I'm dictating the majority of the terms on the loan as far as how much to pay, when to pay. I get to do that as far as the loan from the insurance company. But I might do this actually. I might just go get the car with see if I couldn't get it with really small amount down. Right. And then once the deal is done, then I could make one payment, and then I'll take 10 grand and tell them to knock down the principal. Boom. And now I've lowered, and then I'll lower down my monthly payment just by doing that. Right. Because I don't know how the math really works, but if you throw 10 grand down on the table, okay, your $50,000 plus tax, license, etc. is now $40,000 plus tax, license, and etc. But you're still going to get taxed on the 50.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Your loan is for the 40 from standard institutions. So I would crunch the numbers on all that. Are you really saving that much money loan to loan? Right. It's the amount of money that goes to interest where we really lose our thing. So if there was a way that I could knock down that payment, right, for my monthly payment of the car after my first month, then I could take that, here we go, kids, savings, and redirect that and make that difference, my loan payment, back to my loan that I got plus the car payment. Now, next year, whatever that difference between my original loan payment and now my new loan payment from the bank, because I knocked down that principal, whatever amount that was at the end of the year, I would now take that and do the same thing again. Boom. Right. I just do another loan, knock that payment down again. And then again, and I would try to shrink that down. And what I'm doing there in reality is I am redirecting over time the money going across the street to now I'm slowly redirecting that money back to my bank year over year. So that's actually, I would see if I could do that. If I could, if I can't, then I know the path I got already, right? I got the easy one, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But really trying to think creative here, because Nelson really, it's about imagination. Yeah. How can I do this? How can I really make these people do all the work for me? And then I just come out and sucker punch them. Boom,
gotcha. Get the numbers in my own favor. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to extend that though, because you want to be able to make sure you're going to pay yourself back with interest every month.
Of course, you definitely want that. But either way you do that, right? Whether you do it $10,000, put it down on the car, right? You're already obligated for that loan, or you wait and then do that play and knock down that bill. It'd be really interesting to see what the numbers are on, but that's what I would do personally. But yeah, you could totally do that.
Sure.
You could totally take a loan from your policy to go do a down payment on a car, motorcycle, snowmobile, boat, house, golf clubs, golf cart with trailer, whatever you want.
That's right. And by the way, all of that stuff can be purchased by your trust. Hello.
Yeah.
So
that's a play too.
Yeah, that's a play too.
Great question, Allan. So what's going on? Are you in the market?
I might just be in the market for a new vehicle.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I might just. And I'm getting creative in my old days. And I've got different income streams. I don't make a lot of money, as you guys all know. But it is kind of one of those situations like I want to use my money the best way I possibly can. So, as you know,
Right.
Simon, we're pretty up to here in IBC stuff, Elizabeth and I, and we're excited about it. Yeah, no, we are for sure, and I love it.
Yeah.
We're committed fully, and
Amen. Love it.
we're learning to be better bankers. Is what we're learning.
That's right.
I have kind of a hard stop here tonight, guys. Unfortunately, so Simon,
Yeah, you got back.
a great show. I think we learned a lot of like basic stuffs here tonight. But yeah, I know everybody was watching John Deaton tonight. But anyway, the show must go on, as they say. But I'll get the highlights and the gist of it after this show tonight. But I have stuff to do tonight. I've got to put Humpty all back together. I've got to get back on the road tomorrow. So it's crazy. I got to get back down to the boat this coming weekend. And I got a lot happening, guys.
Yeah, so, you do. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
And yeah, tonight was good. Tonight was real good.
Yeah,
it
was. Simon, what do you got for us? What are your closing statements here for us?
Closing statements. Okay, Let's see here. Don't say why. Replace it with how. How can I do this?
Yeah.
How is this done? How? There's a lot of power in how, and I actually thank B-Man for bringing that back into my scope, my vision. And run the numbers. If you're lost, write it down. Even if you suck at math, go to Chat GPT. Chat can do some math for you.
Yeah.
But run the numbers, just like what Allan and I just talked about. Right. Initially, that $10,000 down. That's what we're trained to do. Okay. That's just something that we've been taught to do over time. Okay. Is it good? Is it bad? I'm not going to debate that. Is there another way? And how can I do it?
Yeah.
Is there another way? And how can I do it? It is.
Life is a puzzle. I'm going to close because I saw it in the chat. Yes, myself and April Mora will be on the show Thursday night. I have her committed for at least an hour. I will probably get her to go a little longer than that, I hope, because we missed her 2 weeks ago. But if you have trust questions, please write them down, think about it, put your thinking cap on and figure out and hit us with the curveballs, because I'm just going to Q&A the whole thing Thursday night. And I think you're going to learn an awful lot about trust. I really think you are. And then the next time we get her on, we're actually going to do whiteboard stuff. And I'm going to start playing around with some of that. I looked into it right before I left, and I was like, it's all so like not stuff I really want to get involved back, because it's charts and graphs, and man, I'm tired of all that. But anyway, if I can get Simon to do all the whiteboard and aim,
sure, I'll whiteboard. I'll be like, here's what we're gonna do.
That's it.
We're gonna go over here.
We're good.
Drop down. Yeah. Get this guy to come back up here, and then you're good.
That's it. Okay, guys. So remember, Thursday night trust show for sure, definitely. Sorry, I'm cutting tonight's show a little bit early, but yes, I did catch fish, Becky. I caught a lot of fish. I had a great time and really enjoyed my wife. And I will see you all next Tuesday night. Simon and I will see you next Tuesday night, and I will see you Thursday night. Don't miss tomorrow night's Dip a Toe with Simon.
Oh, dip a toe, yeah. Oh, Melissa has got the home run, dude. We got one of the from Fusion Productions, the ones that made the XRP Unleashed. We got we got one of them. Yeah, we got one of them coming on. It's going to be a good one tomorrow. Don't miss that, guys. That's going to be a great show. Okay, guys. Simon will see you tomorrow night, and I'll see you all Thursday night. Have a great night. Have a good one.
And